The changing nature of archaeology. Archaeology involves the excavation and study of the physical remains of the past. It is a much younger discipline than history. People have been writing history for about 3,000 years, whereas archaeology is less than 300 years old. The word archaeology comes from a Greek word meaning the discussion of ancient things. Archaeology in its earliest days was mostly concerned with digging up treasures of the past. Think of Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, etc. Today, treasures may still be unearthed, but to the modern archaeologist, every find, even a broken piece of pottery, is a treasure. Alongside the excitement of discovery, there is also the painstaking work of analysis and recording. All aspects of the modern archaeologist's work are aided by sophisticated technology and scientific techniques. Most importantly, archaeology involves interpretation of finds so that all the work of excavation and analysis might reveal more of the story of our human past. In more recent terms, archaeology has also been concerned with the need for conservation, to protect sites from both natural and human destruction. Beyond adding to our store of human knowledge about the past, archaeologists aim to preserve what remains of that past as part of the cultural heritage of humankind. The history of archaeology. The search for treasure that characterized the early days before the 19th century was haphazard and often very destructive. For example, early treasure hunters used battering rams and dynamite to blast their way into the Egyptian pyramids and tombs. It was not until more systematic and scientific methods were introduced by pioneers such as Giuseppe Fiorelli, Sir Flinders Petrie, and Sir Mortimer Wheeler that the discipline of archaeology was born. These methods were accompanied by some important developments in human knowledge and understanding about the past. Scholars Colin Renfrew and Paul Barn, in their book Archaeology, Theories, Methods and Practice, have identified three significant conceptual developments during the 19th century that laid the foundation for modern archaeology. The antiquity of humankind. Up until the 19th century, the biblical account of creation and human history as only a few thousand years old was widely accepted. However, the discovery of the bones of extinct animals and other ancient artifacts began to suggest that human origins may be traced to a very distant past, and so the notion of prehistory was born. The concept of evolution. The idea of ancient origins was reinforced by the publication of Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species in 1859. Darwin's book demonstrated how the concept of evolution accounted for the development of plants and animals over long periods of time. It soon became clear that this same process of evolution could help to explain how the human species had developed. This paved the way for the search for human origins in the archaeological record. The three-age system. Danish scholar Christian Jorgensen Thomsen proposed in 1836 that artifacts excavated in a dig could be organized in a chronological sequence of stone, bronze, and iron, beginning with the earliest human technology of stone. This concept, together with the application of stratigraphy, contributed to the development of more careful and systematic excavation methods and continues to be the basis of modern archaeological practice. We will now move on to a discussion of the pioneers of archaeological excavation. In the 18th century, we had Giovanni Belzoni, who was a treasure hunter, an example of the treasure hunting school. No scientific techniques were used. C.J. Thomson in the 19th century introduced a three-age system, stone, bronze and iron, and classification was used by scholars throughout Europe as a result of this. In the 19th century also, Giuseppe Fiorelli introduced systematic method of naming and recording buildings at Pompeii. He also introduced the plaster cast technique. He was one of the earlier pioneers of scientific excavation and recording methods. Heinrich Schliemann used crude excavation methods and discovered Troy and the Mycenaean civilization. He pioneered the interpretation of stratigraphy to reconstruct the past. General Pitt Rivers used military precision and surveying methods through recording. He pioneered modern field techniques of archaeology. Sir Flinders Petrie saw the organisation, collection of all artefacts, sequence dating in Egypt and Palestine. These dating methods enabled chronological order of finds from a site to be determined. Sir Mortimer Wheeler pioneered the box grid method, excavating the Maiden Castle in England, which led to precision methods revolutionising field archaeology. In the 20th century, Sir Arthur Evans excavated, conserved and reconstructed the Palace of Knossos in Crete, and he revealed and named the Minoan civilization. Howard Carter carried out the meticulous recording and conservation and discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun, which was an almost intact tomb and provided valuable information on royal burials. Leonard Woolley was one of the first modern archaeologists and excavated in Mesopotamia. He put Sumerians on a map of the ancient world. Kathleen Kenyon applied Mortimer Wheeler's box grid method at Jericho and Jerusalem and pushed back the date of occupation at Jericho to the end of the Ice Age. Vere Gordon Child developed a system to organize artifacts indicating ownership and period of time. He developed the concept of a culture, i.e. the assemblage of artifacts identifying a particular group of people. The contribution of science. The impact of science can be seen today in nearly every area of archaeology, from the location of sites to the analysis of excavated finds. The last 50 years or so, years have witnessed the development of a wide range of new scientific techniques, including the use of computers, satellites, molecular DNA analysis, and other sophisticated technologies. Archaeologists call on many branches of the physical and social sciences to help them analyze their finds. These finds can include artifacts, human and animal remains, and the soil or other material in which they have been deposited. Physical sciences such as botany, zoology, and biology are used to analyze the material remains of the past. Social sciences such as anthropology, geography, linguistics, and sociology focus on the development of societies and human relationships. Thank you.